Good afternoon, everybody. Liz Geeslin, Better Lifestyle Solutions. Hope you're having an awesome Monday. Mine's going really well so far. And I decided today, this was actually a request of one of my friends, Chris. We had lunch together last week, and she said, you know, Liz, you should do a video on how to chop certain things that are sort of hard to chop. And I thought, you know, that's probably a good idea. So thank you, Chris, and that's what I'm going to do today. And I picked out 3 different vegetables. We're going to do a cauliflower because I thought, well, this will be great because I love roasted cauliflower for a snack, or I might make roasted cauliflower soup. So that will go to good use. I'm also a butternut squash and also a bell pepper. I know you think, well, bell pepper, I mean, certainly everybody knows how to cut a bell pepper. Well, I didn't when I first started, and thank you, Janelle, my niece, who actually is the one that taught me how to do that. So I'm going to get started, but first I want to share a little tip. You know, you all know probably who Rachel Ray is. I mean, she has, I think, a regular show now. Oh, guess what? I have some muffins coming out of the oven, so hold on, hold your horses. I'll be right back. My favorite mitts. These muffins are actually, okay, they need a little bit more time. Okay, so you can tell I'm multitasking. I sort of forgot that I was doing these. Okay, I'm going to have to come back to them. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, probably the best trick that I really learned from Rachel, and I know a lot of people don't really like her. Well, you know, she has her own TV show. She's doing all right. Is she sets up her, when she's doing stuff, she sets up her garbage bowl. This way you're not dipping down into the trash. So I recycle my grocery bags, and I just pop that over, make a garbage bowl, set it to the side. Just saves, it's just one less movement, and then you can just take that to the trash when you're finished. Let's do the bell pepper first. Now, I thought, okay, it looks like when people are watching, I hope that you guys can see this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top off first. Then you can see there's channels in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut between those ribs down each side. Now here's my little trick. You know how sometimes when you're cooking you like to snack? Well, I'll cut that little end off and then the little pieces around the top of this, and then I'll like munch on those, unless I like really need to use it in the recipe, but it makes a really super easy snack. So I'm going to do that later. I'm just going to set them aside, okay? So now the key with a pepper is you don't want to cut on the skin side because your knife will slip. You want to cut on the inside side. So I'm just going to, it's just easy peasy. I mean, I don't know that, oh, I wish you could see better. So basically I'm just going to do a few little dices here. That's easy, okay? Set that to the side. So what I'm going to do is I've got some bowls going here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these peppers later. I'll probably just cut them into strips and eat them as a snack. Okay, the butternut squash. Just before I came on, I thought, oh, I never tried this way before. Is, you know, that peeler I showed you and the tools that I really love, I thought, well, I'm going to see. And see, this will peel this butternut squash because I'm going to cube it and roast this too. As you can see that you could peel this. Well, I've never done the entire thing that way, so I'm going to show you the way I normally do a butternut squash. Now, for those of you that this is a new vegetable to you, this tall part down to about where it starts to flange out is all solid butternut squash. The seeds are down in this little area down here, so there's not as much of the nice flesh in this area, but there is still some. I'll show you. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the top. Okay, top is cut off in the garbage bowl. Now I'm going to cut down where, right about where the neck, where it's just starting to bulge out, and I'm going to cut straight down. Okay, whoops, it almost got away from me. So I'm going to set this aside. We'll do him next. But then what I'm going to do with this piece is it's going to sit nice and flat on your cutting board, And then you're just going to take your knife very carefully. Remember, don't put your finger like that. Not good. You want to do it like this. And just go along the edge and cut it off, okay? I'm going to go down. Oh, I'll get that later. So you have to be careful and you have to sort of take your time. And you're going to go all the way around the squash. I'm going to go ahead and finish it up because then I'll show you that. Okay, and now I'm basically, oh no, I still have a little ways to go. But you can see, you have to be careful. Okay, I'm thinking that I'm going to try that, use the peeler the whole time, the next time. Okay, so then when you have your squash like this, then you can, what I suggest doing is, if you're going to cube it up, is cut it in half again. So then you have a little shorter guy to work with. Okay, into the garbage bowl. And see, if you had a compost pile, see, then all that stuff could go in the compost pile. But we live in a condo. We don't have a compost pile. Sorry. And then I'm just going to take my hand. I'm going to press down on the top of my knife and just gently kind of seesaw down. It cuts through really nicely. Okay, now you can see there's no seeds, but there's a little tiny bit of, not really, it's just a little tiny spongy in there. It's just perfect. It's just fine. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside. Okay, the muffins are ready. Sorry. I think they're ready. And this recipe, if it is like awesome, my good friend Sue, this was her creation. And, okay, they need a little bit more time. That's okay. She said that they probably would. Okay, we're going to go another 5. Oops, sorry. Okay. Sorry, this is sort of a little bit convoluted today. So, what I will do then is take all these little pieces. I'll cut them up into little cubes. Hi, Lenore. I see you. And then I'll roast those. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is actually roast the butternut squash and the cauliflower and maybe make a roasted cauliflower butternut squash soup. Why not? Just give it a try. Can't be bad. It'd be delicious. So I'm going to set that aside. But I'm going to show you now about this guy, because if you haven't done one of these, you want to see what's, going on in here. Okay. God, I'm trying to think. Okay, that's right. I'm leaving, it's nice and sturdy, so I'm not cutting the bottom off, and I'm going around the edge of this too. I'm definitely going to use the peeler the next time. I think that it's going to, because it really peeled easy. This goes fast though. Okay, now, let's see, I'm going to cut off the, okay, now I'm going to cut off the bottom. God, for a minute, I sort of felt like I forgot how to do this. And now, now I'm going to go down through the center, and then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about on the inside. It looks just like pumpkin, really. And so what you're going to do is just take a spoon. I'm not going to, you guys can figure that out. Take a spoon and take all that out, and then cube it up and put it with the rest of the other butternut squash. Okay, so I'll put that aside. After our show, I'll take that. Now the cauliflower. Oh, another thing, guys, I forgot to say, is before you start cutting all this stuff, is make sure you wash it. Even if like that skin, just because you don't want your knife carrying anything from the outside of the vegetable in. And even this cauliflower, it was wrapped with plastic. You know how they do in the store. You still take the plastic off, give it a rinse, because you don't want any stray dirt or whatever. So, okay, so here we got a cauliflower. It's like, okay, I want to make this into florets, and I want to maybe roast them for a snack. What am I going to do? So what I do is just put it down on your cutting board, and let's just start with cutting it in half. Okay. See what it looks like inside? It's like a big tree. And see, it has that big, there's still some of the green stuff on it. I'm making a mess. So what I'm going to do, start with 1/2. Now I'm going to cut the half in half in the center. So now we have quarters. Then this is just going to make it easier. See that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down through here and just cut this major part of the core out, because that really isn't anything that's good. And you don't have, and these florets don't have to stay. Here, I need another bowl. In case those muffins get ready while I'm doing this. Oh God, I'm multitasking. So I'm gonna break this little part off. Okay, see, that's just the greenery part into the garbage bowl. Okay, now you just sort of have to, and each one that you do is going to be different. So I'm just going to cut out the big part. Okay, see, I cut out that big part, and now really you can just take these little florets if you don't want that little extra, because I'm maybe going to make soup. I mean, the majority of the fiber from a cauliflower is in the stalks, and the same thing with broccoli and everything. So, go ahead. It gets, the thing that's nice about roasting is the vegetables get a nice sweetness and everything to it. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Mindy. So, just however you want it. If you don't want that stem on there, just trim it down. I'm going to keep it on. So it's going in. So what I'm basically doing is I'm just breaking these little guys up. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. Some of them might be kind of big. That's all right. Oh, and now now here's a nice, great big one, right? Well, sometimes what I do is then I just kind of cut through the center and then break off from there. So there's really no real science to it, you guys. It's just, but this I think I found in the real easy way. And roasted cauliflower, I kid you not, it is really, really a good, very healthy snack. What I will do is, just for this whole big, gigantic head, because it's a big head, is maybe use 2 tablespoons of olive oil at the most. Oh gosh, there goes the timer again. Okay. All right. Gotta rinse my hands. Muffin check. Oh, let me tell you about these muffins again. These are a zucchini. She kicked it up a notch. She's been crazy about my Zenfuse protein powder. Oh, these, yeah, I think these are ready. Yeah, I think they're ready. They're ready. And what she did is she made them into pumpkin pecan muffins, and with grated zucchini, a grated carrot, a can of pumpkin, and then I had to do a little bit of modification from her original recipe, but it just worked out just because we wanted to get the numbers a little bit better, and so that's what I did. So we're going to test them. They might not be, sorry. Cancel. Okay, done with the buzzing. Okay, so I think you guys get it with the, and I'm looking, somebody's calling me. I'm assuming you can still see me. There was a thing across the screen. So you get the idea with the cauliflower, right? Okay, I've made a mess, but that's okay because we're in the kitchen. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you, where is it? Oh, here it is. The onion. Okay, the onion. Okay, and these, I hope I don't start crying. This is a yellow onion, so it's got the thick, heavy skin on it. I normally use sweet onions, which I really like, but I thought I'm going to roast this yellow onion with the other vegetables and make something with it. Like I said, probably a soup or something. So, and I thought this would be sort of good to show you with the yellow onion. See, it has all this paper on it. First thing you want to do is cut the root, here's the root, the top part off. Don't cut the root off. Same thing, be careful. This one doesn't look that great, but you'll get the idea. Then I'm going to cut down through the root. Okay, now you've got, this one has like a little, kind of see it's got a little bit of a bruise, and well, it's not a bruise, it's like where the thing was growing out. It might be a little soft in there. I'll check it out after I do it. So then what you want to do is peel, this outside area off. Going over to the garbage bowl. Ooh, it's kind of this. I don't like this onion. It's not very good. Well, I'm gonna take the outside down to where it's good. And that skin and everything, it gets kind of annoying. Okay, so now you have the peeled onion. Look, it got kind of small because there were a couple outside edges that were really sort of soft, and I mean, they probably would be okay, but I don't really like it. Then what you're gonna do, if we want diced, we're gonna do diced onion now, is you see where the little rings, you know, we've got their layers. We're gonna go along here in little tiny cuts. I used to do it straight down through, but then my wonderful friend Lisa, yeah, I'm going to tag you too, honey. When I first started chefing, one day she showed me this way, and it's like, oh my gosh, that is so much better. So what I'm going to do is hold the top, and I'm just going to go and cut along. Just now, take your time away that. Okay, you're going to go down through the ends, and see you have then beautifully diced onion. Makes quite a bit. Half an onion makes a lot. Okay, so that probably is a good, might be 3/4 of a cup for that 1/2 of an onion. Okay, I think that I have a mess to clean up for sure to decide if that onion's going to be worth keeping. I'm going to finish up my cauliflower and the butternut squash, roast it up, and if the soup turns out really good, I'll post a recipe. How does that sound? Sound good? And then I'm definitely going to do those muffins too. If they look like they're going to be really tasty, I'll make sure that we get a recipe. And my good friend, her name is Sue. I'm going to tag you on this too, Sue. So anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. I'm going to get cleaned up. I'm going to get those muffins out and cooling. And I'll see you Wednesday for Wealth Wednesday and some tips and tricks. Okay? Great to see you all. Don't forget, take good care of each other and live better. Bye-bye.